The Arizona Diamondbacks lose a heartbreaker here on a night where they outplay the Dodgers, but base running mistakes really come back to bite them. We're talking about it right now. Well, we haven't had to listen to that goddamn song in who knows how long, and yet here we are 2 nights in a row listening to that song. Welcome into the PHNX Diamondbacks podcast, presented to you live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. It is I, your mayor of PHNX, occasionally known as Derek Montilla, and occasionally known as a man who has been better mentally at times. This team's already draining me, and we only have 160 more of these to go. I am not alone tonight. If you were watching our watch along, you know I am here together with my partner in crime and the cafe to my leche. It's the one, the only Damon Dawg, aka Damon Farrell, on the ones and twos. And he's also not happy about watching this Diamondbacks team lose this game tonight to the Dodgers by a score of 5-4, specifically on a night where the Diamondbacks, as we said here in the headline and at the top of the show, outplayed the Dodgers. And I know that there's going to be some Dodgers fans that come and point and laugh at that, but I do think that this is one of those times where even you might be able to agree that the Diamondbacks played excellent baseball tonight. They had no problem scoring runs in multiple innings, and they did a great job at holding this Dodgers lineup, which is very, very potent, to a very minimal offensive output. Unfortunately, there was enough of a mistake there made by Ryne Nelson with a couple of base runners on that he walked. That comes up to bite him big, and this team isn't able once again to produce enough offense to outscore the Dodgers here on their second consecutive loss in Los Angeles. Good news if you want some of that. Geraldo Perdomo did extend his on-base streak to 19 games dating back to last season. This dates back to September 9th of 2025. It is the second longest active on-base streak in the majors, behind Shohei Ohtani, who extended his tonight also with just a walk. That's all that Ohtani had tonight. And so far, the Diamondbacks have held Ohtani overall in his first 2 games to just 1 hit. But it was unfortunately the guys later in the lineup, just like last night with Andy Pages. It was Freeland doing it to the Diamondbacks tonight. And again, they also made 2 huge base running errors that resulted in outs being recorded instead of runs being added and innings being extended overall. But let's see here. Maze Devil in the chat says that regime change and new CBA gonna hit different. Oh, Maze Devil. It's too long. That's too long away for us to start focusing on that. What we should focus on is once again, the Diamondbacks did perform well, but against this Dodgers team, you almost have to play a perfect baseball game, and you could definitely argue that the D-Backs did not do that tonight in LA. In the second inning, they made a huge base running error that was the subject of a lot of discussion on our watch-along. The Diamondbacks led off the inning with Gabby Moreno getting a single and then a walk by Pavin Smith. Then 2 batters later with 2 outs, Alek Thomas comes up, and he came up big, as he did multiple times tonight. He came up big with a double with those 2 outs. Moreno scores, but the third base coach, J.R. House, sends Pavin Smith, who was thrown out, by a mile. Now, I got overly excited when the ball came off Alek Thomas's bat because I knew it was going to be extra bases, and I was under the assumption that 2 runs were going to score. However, I'm not the third base coach, so me screaming that out loud when it was happening live is much different than getting to see what House's view was there at third base and seeing how far out Pavin Smith was. To the Dodgers' credit, they made a perfect relay from the outfield into the infield to home plate. And again, it didn't even seem like it was going to take a perfect relay or a perfect throw to get Pavin Smith there because Will Smith had a chance to make himself an espresso with Team Italy's cappuccino espresso machine and drink the whole thing before Pavin Smith arrived at home plate.
I mean, literally, the ball was not. Pavin was not in the frame. Will Smith was sitting there camping, waiting.
Why was he sent?
I mean, it wasn't. It was not even close.
It's crazy, and again, it's a big mistake because that results in an out instead of course, the inning extending and the Diamondbacks being able to potentially add on there. And it was more of the same in the fourth inning with, once again, Alek Thomas up at the plate. Unfortunately, this time, Alek Thomas was not at the core of it. He was the cause of it. It was a base running mistake by Thomas that ended up causing the out instead of a runner to be at third base. Pavin Smith walked, and then Carlos Santana, who had himself a nice night offensively, at least much better than last night, doubled with one out. Then Thomas hit his second double of the night, scoring 2 runs. He scores Pavin Smith this time, scores Carlos Santana, but then he attempts to stretch the double into a triple, which he successfully did, but he unsuccessfully stayed on the bag. He did not stay on the bag. He slipped past the bag. His hand slipped off the bag, and he was tagged out there at third base by Max Muncy. And again, another out recorded instead of having a base runner at third base that was going to score, because I believe that there was only one out at the time. Instead, Thomas registers the second out, and the Diamondbacks squander a scoring opportunity. These are things that, with the way this offense only produced 2 runs in the first game of the year, these are not mistakes that they can make. They cannot squander away these base runners, these opportunities to score, and more specifically, these opportunities to put it to like Emmett Sheehan, who did not have a good night tonight for the Dodgers. They had a chance to end it much earlier and get into this bullpen. And this Dodgers bullpen, to their credit, was very good tonight. The Dodgers used a lot of arms tonight. Again, something that the Diamondbacks might have been able to both exhaust and steal this win, putting them in a great position in Game 3 to perhaps actually win this series. Now, instead, tomorrow, the Diamondbacks are going to do their best to avoid getting swept in this opening series, and Damon has already eliminated them from playoff contention.
Only like 2 shows after I predicted that they were going to make the playoffs, too, is the worst part. That's how quickly things have unfolded over here.
You hate to see it. And, of course, we're once again going to get to the pitching, but offensively, this team was not bad tonight. They out-hit the Dodgers 8-4, and they were putting together some nice, base runners on situations where they could have capitalized and scored more runs, put up more than 5, and instead, like I said, they kind of blew those opportunities. But Ketel Marte appears to be back. He hit a home run in the third inning that was hit very, very hard. 107.3 miles per hour exit velo off of his bat. That at the time gave the D-Backs a 2-0 lead. It was a 391-footer to right field. Marte tonight, 2 for 5, 1 home run, 1 RBI. However, he was up in the biggest at-bat of the game with a runner on in the 9th inning and his team down by 1. He had the bat in his hand. It's the exact guy you would want with the bat in his hand, and Marte grounds out to end the game. It's unfortunate, and you really wish that our superstar really stepped up there in that big moment, had himself a big moment, one of those career defining moments where, you put your team up by 1 run there late over the Dodgers. Who knows how that game ends again with this bullpen, but I will say that we're going to talk about the pen, and outside of Kevin Ginkel, their pen was very good tonight. Unfortunate story that's similar to last night where one arm was enough for this team to lose. One arm was enough to give up that big run. Of course, last night was different because the offense was terrible. Tonight, the offense was not terrible. These guys were putting together some really good at-bats. Like I said earlier, Santana, who was bad offensively last night, was just really having himself a good night, taking some long, lengthy at-bats. He's putting together some nice things. He walked on one of those long at-bats. He also doubled on another one. 1 for 3 tonight with a double, a walk, and a run scored. And then Perdomo, like I said, he extended his hit streak now to 19 games dating back to September of last year. And he was 1 for 4 tonight with a double. But our King Snake is the man of the night, even though he did make that base running mistake. It is our young king, Alek Thomas, who, again, was just doing everything he could and continues what he already was putting together here during the spring. A really nice start to the season. 2 for 3, 2 doubles. He had 3 RBI and 1 stolen base. So great night by Alek. Unfortunate that he made that base running error of sliding off third base there. Would have nice to been a double and a triple there, and perhaps some more runs scored for this team overall. But that's not what happened. And again, this is becoming a kind of thing here with the Diamondbacks. It definitely is very similar to last night's loss, and it's very frustrating to watch this team play well for so much of the game only for it to slip away. Last night it was 4 innings, and then it's the other 4 innings that weren't so great for this team. But tonight it was it really was the mistakes that they made themselves. And of course, that goes for the pitching too, because making mistakes and letting guys that are lower in the lineup do it to you is a little inexcusable. And tonight, Alex Freeland from the Dodgers really stuck it to the Diamondbacks. He had a home run against Ryne Nelson, and then he also puts together essentially the winning run there late in the game for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 8th inning. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about pitching and Ryne Nelson's night. Ryne Nelson, very good outside of one bad couple of stretches there in the 3rd inning. But we're going to talk about that on the other side of this break. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondbacks show. Well, of course, we made it to the best part of the calendar year. It is sports time. It is baseball. Opening day is here. March Madness is going crazy. Arizona doing some big things. And we still have the Suns and other sports going on as well. We almost have the NBA playoffs here. So if you have never checked out Bet365, now is the best time to do it. And if you are not convinced to check it out during this time of the year, we have a little offer that will sweeten the pot. Just in time for the biggest games, they're now offering one of their biggest promos. Bet $10 and get $365. Get $365 in bonus bets. Any new Bet365 user can sign up and make a $10 bet. You'll get $365 in bonus bets. Win or lose, it's the perfect party favor. So go check out Bet365 now. Download their app. Get in on the action. Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the app today and use code PHNX365 at sign up today and get your $365 in bonus bets. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Please gamble responsibly. Must be present in AZ. $10 minimum deposit required. Bonus bet wager excluded from the returns. New customers only. 21 and over only. Time limits, minimum odds, and terms and conditions apply. In-app only. Void where prohibited. And everyone needs a checking account, so make sure you get yourself a checking account with built-in benefits. Make sure you get yourself a checking account that gives back to you, and that is a Mountain America Credit Union My Style checking account, which has perks just for you, including restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, and loan rate discounts. You can also get offers on travel and events and so much more. They have new offers being added all the time, and of course, make sure to get yourself a checking account that gives something back to you and doesn't just take your money all the time. Check out the My Style checking account. Make My Style for your lifestyle out Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply today. Membership required based on eligibility. Insured by NCUA. Some benefits require no cost registration activation. Terms, conditions, and exclusions do apply. And of course, this show is brought to you by our friends at Bet365. Make sure you get that offer. Also, we're brought to you by Game Time. And if you have not gotten yourself tickets from Game Time, that app is amazing. It's very aesthetically pleasing. And of course, you can save yourself some tickets. Use code PHNX. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Well, Ryne Nelson looked very good on the mound for the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. Before we get to that, I did want to get to our super chats. We got our guy Cool Bro here tonight. He said Diamondbacks and Dodgers handshake 5-4 score games. Yeah, kind of hate that. Maze Devil, again, that regime change, a new CBA going to hit different. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Maze Devil. Grudy7, thank you so much for your super chat. Says, whoever gave us this first month schedule is a certified hater. It's brutal. You're not wrong. Right out of the gate, it's so brutal. The Diamondbacks do have some relief here at the end of the inning, at the end of the month. We got Milwaukee Brewers experiencing their own little bad situation there with Jackson Chourio experiencing that injury. So hopefully the Diamondbacks will, be able to get some, some help here as we progress throughout the month. But yeah, things don't look good for this. And then another super chat from Cool Bro. Thank you again. Said ASU baseball got ranked win tonight. Not a total L. Nah, not a total L for baseball. But
depends on who you are, I
guess.
I
mean, this guy over here is probably not going to agree with you on that.
I'm not exactly jumping for joy. It doesn't make me feel any better actually.
I know. Well,
I actually feel much worse now that you said that. Thanks.
Yeah, I figured that. Ryne Nelson had himself a night and actually had himself a really good night outside of that fourth inning. I mean, the fourth inning involved him walking 2 batters and giving up a home run. And outside of that, Ryne Nelson was actually pretty damn good against the Dodgers. But again, that could easily be constituted as loser talk because it involves the caveat of taking out him giving up 4 runs there in the third inning to the Dodgers overall, including a home run there to Freeland, which is the one that really kills you. That's the one that puts you, essentially tied with the Dodgers over the course of this game. And the Diamondbacks continue to let the, 6 through 9 hitters for the Dodgers really hurt them in this series. But Nelly, again, he had himself a really strong start to the night. He came out, he strikes out Shohei Ohtani to start the game. He strikes out Kyle Tucker after that, and then he gets Mookie Betts to line out to Corbin Carroll. And Damon and I were ready to crown him with a big H and big I and big M. And then he comes out in the second inning, more of the same. He did give up a walk to Max Muncy, but that was the only base runner he allowed through 2 innings. He got Freeman to fly out, got Will Smith to pop out, and he got Hernandez to strike out. And then again, he gives up the 1 run there in to start the fourth inning to Alex Freeland, and then gives up a walk to Ohtani, gives up a walk to Kyle Tucker, and another home run to Mookie Betts. That 4-player stretch was the entire crux of Ryne Nelson's night. That's it. That's all that Ryne Nelson essentially allowed, and it all just happened so fast. It was very similar to what we were saying last night with Zach Gallen, where he was just cruising and then suddenly just hit a wall and couldn't register an out. For the most part, at least Nelly got through this after he does give up the home run to Mookie Betts. He gives up, gets Freddie Freeman to fly out sharply, and he gets Will Smith to ground out. And I'm sorry, this is the third inning, not the fourth inning.
Remember when I butchered Mookie Betts' name?
Yeah.
The things that I was thrown my way, Derek, and then you right there, how you just said Mookie Betts. We'll just move on from that, but I just wanted to point out that I'm going to be the bigger man here.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you called him Mucky for a considerable amount of time, perhaps multiple years, Damon. Just like you.
Well, I don't know. I couldn't even begin to repeat what you just called him if I tried. It wasn't English, that's for sure. At least you knew what I was going for.
A lot of things that I say on this program aren't English, and I've told you since Spanish is my first language, when you attack me, it's considered to be a hate crime. So watch it.
Yes, that was very racist of me. I'm sorry.
Totally watch it here, but and when I say that, literally, Ryne Nelson goes 4 2/3 innings pitched. He gives up 2 hits in this game. 4 earned runs, walked 3, struck out 4. Oh, God. If I could just erase that 4 batter stretch for Ryne Nelson, he comes out looking like a stud. And also kind of questionable that he only got 4 2/3 innings. Not to say it ended poorly for the Diamondbacks, but, I mean, Nelly was at, 83 pitches, and Torrey comes and gives him the hook with 2 outs and no batters on. Didn't really make a lot of sense. It feels like, with the position this team is in, that they should probably try to get everything they can out of their starters, especially when they're in a predicament or a situation like Ryne Nelson was that didn't seem like he was in any kind of danger at the moment when Torrey removed him from the game, right? But the big concern, I guess, for Nelly tonight, or at least if you want to have a concern outside of those 4 pitches, is he just went entirely too heavy on the fastball. And now we were applauding, especially that slider, that 88.9, 89 mile per hour slider that he was getting to drop in the zone and land at the bottom of the zone is how he got those first 2 strikeouts of the game to Ohtani and Kyle Tucker. And man, that slider just went away really fast. And I don't know if he just lost command of it. I don't know if he couldn't land it any longer, but he really quickly abandoned his secondary pitches and went right back to the fastball. And I know it's easy for Nelly to do that considering how good his fastball is, but when his secondary pitches were working in this game, he looked unhittable. Instead, he only ends up throwing his slider 28% of the outing and his curveball 10%, and he throws the fastball 63% of the outing. 52 out of 83 pitches were four-seam fastballs tonight. He did max out at 99 miles an hour, Damon. Yikes. 98.9.
That's crazy.
And he averaged 96.4 tonight. So real good stuff there. He had 10 swings and misses. And, you know, he still looked amazingly solid outside of that stretch where he gives up 2 walks and 2 home runs. And that's enough for this game to be tied and eventually won later by the Dodgers. But when he did leave the game, he handed it over to a guy who Damon and I have already established as being a certified G and a bona fide stud. And that is Jonathan Loaizaga, a.k.a. Johnny Lasagna.
I mean, you wanted to call him Jonathan Lasagna, right? So bad right there.
Right away. You? I didn't even want to call him his real name. I don't want to call him Jonathan Loaizaga. He is Johnny Lasagna. You preheat the oven at 350. You put Johnny Lasagna in, and he's going to bake and feed families. And he baked tonight, and he fed families. He was awesome for this team. Exactly what the Diamondbacks needed. Just a really nice outing. Talk about a well-rounded effort. He threw his curveball 29% of the outing, threw his sinker 29% of the outing, and threw his changeup 29% of the outing. And then he mixed in a four-seam 14%. But what an outing from Johnny Lasagna. He comes out there, gets that last batter of the last inning, there for Nelly, comes out, gives the Diamondbacks a solid inning of hitless, scoreless baseball, struck out 1, and looked outstanding doing it. He really did look outstanding in his work tonight. He maxed out at 97.8 miles per hour is what he maxed out at with his fastball there. So again, some exciting things here. Bullpen looked good. The bullpen looked good tonight. I'm going to give them credit where credit is due. We attack this bullpen. We say things about them. Ryan Thompson looked great once again. Yeah. Thompson looks like a beast. The movement on his pitches and what he was able to do tonight was amazing. Not to mention
spiritual experience for Derek Montilla.
Oh, I was raising my hands and doing a little
screaming
bit of this.
Amen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Go back and watch the watch along. It was pretty special.
I mean,
his best friend.
His stuff was amazing, and it's 2 nights in a row that he is just absolutely gone in the game and done work. He went in, he got the job done, and it's not because of him they lost. It's because of Kevin Ginkel. And Kevin Ginkel did not look great tonight. He really looked like he was struggling with a number of things, including his slider. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about the effectiveness of Kevin Ginkel late in baseball games today. He threw his slider the majority of the outing. And yeah, I mean, you saw what happened there. Gives up, the leadoff hit essentially, and allows it eventually to come around and score. It was going to be very difficult for him to keep that runner from scoring, but he gives up a double to Alex Freeland once again. And again, Alex Freeland ends up scoring the winning run and adding one with a solo home run that he hit. This is the part that's heartbreaking for the Diamondbacks. You cannot let the Dodgers, this lineup, beat you by the guys, the Andy Pajes and the Alex Freelands of the world.
And that's what they've done on the first 2 nights of the season.
You held this team to 4 hits tonight.
Yeah.
You held Ohtani hitless and just 1 walk. You held Tucker 1 for 3, the game-winning hit, essentially. Mookie Betts had the home run and 3 RBI, but you held him to 1 for 4. You held Freeman hitless once again for 2 nights in a row. But it's the Will Smiths, it's the Max Muncies, it's the Andy Pajes, and it's almost like exhausts you. You try so hard to get through the top of the lineup that you almost breathe a sense of relief when you get to Will Smith and Max Muncy, and then you forget very quickly that the bottom half of that Dodgers lineup is the heart of a mediocre team's lineup. You know what I mean? Like, that's how good they are. And that's why it's such a difficult task to get through this team. It's such a well-built lineup from 1 through 9 that it's not just those top 4 guys that you have to worry about getting through. It's the top, all of them. It's all of them. It's the entire lineup. It's frustrating, and I hate it. I hate what happened tonight to Kevin Ginkel, but I'm really starting to question, based on what we saw during spring training, especially with his slider, and then what we saw tonight, about, Kevin Ginkel being a guy that you're going to trust in these high leverage situations. We knew the bullpen was going to adapt, but I feel like they need to make some changes quickly before they find themselves losing too many baseball games.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely concerning from a Ginkel perspective, because we knew going into this season that it was going to be Thompson, Ginkel, and Sewald that were going to be tasked with being the more high leverage guys in this bullpen. And no, I promise you did not wake up from a coma in October 2023. This is 2026, and we are running it back with the exact same bullpen, despite what maybe, conventional thought would be in that regard. So you need Kevin Ginkel to be better than what he was tonight, and this was a terrible start. I obviously am a huge Kevin Ginkel fan. I love Kevin Ginkel. I've believed in Kevin Ginkel that he was going to find a way to rebound this offseason. Disaster start on game 2. It felt like, honestly, like it was coming, because the Dodgers had been so stifled by this bullpen and by Ryne Nelson after that 4-run inning for a decent chunk of this game.
Oh, yeah.
You were like, this is a great bullpen outing by the D-backs in this game.
No hits in that span between then. Right?
And so you want to give them props, and it's hard to even like really come on here and be like, man, the bullpen blew it, because it really truly wasn't like a bullpen type of loss.
Right.
It just hurts.
And giving up 1 run shouldn't necessarily be enough to give up the game, but that's what your job is in that situation. Is to come in the bottom of the 8th and hold that game tied so that the Diamondbacks have a chance to win it in the top of the 9th.
Yes.
Right? But I'll say, when it comes to right now, what this team is doing is they're playing well enough to beat the Dodgers during the game, but they're not playing a complete game. And again, the mistakes they're making because of how good this Dodgers team is enough for them to lose. They got waxed yesterday. So I'm not even going to act like, a few mistakes separated them from winning. But yesterday was an example of how well they played for half of the game and how they had a lead for that half. But the minute that Gallen couldn't find, the strike zone with his fastball, the minute he was kind of being a little too fine. I mean, similar here with Ryne Nelson with those walks. He got to a point where, he was trying to kind of dot the edge and whatnot a little too much. And instead it gets 2 base runners on, and Mookie Betts makes him pay with that home run.
And he's doing it against some of the best hitters in baseball, right? Like, that's why they're walking, is because it's Ohtani. And, Ryne Nelson doesn't want to throw Ohtani and serve him up a pitch that he's going to take over the fence. Like,
you want them to chase after it, or, and he was tantalizing them enough.
It's the struggle of playing the Dodgers. Is like every they have one guy who feels like he's like, obviously a Hall of Famer, like Barry Bonds type of hitter, where it's like every time he touches it, you're fearing that he just hit it over the fence. And then he's surrounded by a guy who makes more money than any single player in baseball this year, hitting after him. The next guy's a surefire Hall of Famer in Freddie Freeman. The next guy's a probable Hall of Famer in Mookie Betts. Like, they have these caliber of players that it's hard to attack them, but you have to attack somebody, right? Or else you're just walking everybody.
Correct.
That's why Jeff Kent won MVP on the Giants back in the day. Like,
you will never let that go.
No,
you will never let Jeff Kent being an MVP.
It's probably gonna, honestly, Derek. Like, I was making fun of Kyle Tucker on the beginning portion of our watch along, saying this guy's hit 266 last year with 22 home runs, and we're giving him $60 million a year. What a sham baseball has become, and specifically, what a sham the Dodgers have made baseball.
Yeah.
But we're probably going to look at the end of the season at Kyle Tucker's stats and be like, man, he hit 300 with, 38 bombs and 100 RBI. Yeah, because he hit right in front of Shohei Ohtani, sandwiched in between Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts. They're going to have to throw to somebody, and that's what makes the Dodgers dangerous. Teoscar Hernandez would be our cleanup hitter. He hits 7th for them. Andy Pages would be, our 5th or 6th hitter. He hits 8th for them. Like, it's a disaster. It's a disaster. This is what they've turned baseball into.
Another disaster could be the situation with the umpires and the ABS system tonight.
I mean, if we don't know if we just refuse to use our challenges, it's a complete disaster, because then one team is getting balls and strike call changes in their favor, and we're just simply just putting our hands in our pockets and going, they called it a strike, and you're like, called it a strike, Cattell. It's 6 inches off the plate.
Yeah,
tap your helmet.
There were a couple of times. We also had the weirdness with Gabby last night getting denied twice when tapping his helmet. The Diamondbacks did win their only challenge tonight, but it was also just frustrating to see. Like you said, you needed to use your challenges in order for the umpires to come anywhere close to calling, these strikes and these balls against the Dodgers, like as if that team needs any extra help winning baseball games. It's just kind of ridiculous. But also, I don't understand. And yes, Mays Devil says that's 100% a Torey thing. And you're right. I mean, Torey, one thing I did not love during spring training was we were heading into the final 2 weeks of spring training, the final, less like a week and a half left. And Torey still didn't really seem to have a good game plan on how he was going to use challenges or what his game plan was going to be to implement them, especially when it came offensively to batters using them. It sounds like they were going to be restricted to only using them in big, high leverage, late inning situations. But this is baseball, Damon. You can't restrict your players to simply using those challenges when if you win, you keep it. So again, you know how Howard you feel about the ABS challenge system being a stupid Mario Party mini game that we made it into instead of just giving umpires the proper technology to make better calls. But if Torey's not going to use them unless it's high leverage situations, there's going to be entirely too many times early in a game where an ABS call might have been game changing, and instead the Diamondbacks do nothing about it.
I mean, I'm sitting here and I don't want to overreact. It's been 2 games. We're 0-2. Obviously, I've already eliminated us from the playoffs.
Yeah,
so
you already. I don't want to overreact. Says the guy that sent the eliminated graphic on Twitter.
I don't know if the math is mathing necessarily on that.
The math is not mathing in this case, Damon. No.
But Derek, kind of a disaster class from Mike Hazen and Torey Lovullo so far this season. From the bullpen construction and how we've lost these first 2 games and what Mike Hazen has decided was worthy of being enough investment in this bullpen, running it back and, leaning on a bunch of young guys who have never proven anything, to Torey Lovullo not instilling a proper challenge system with his team and kind of, getting them right in that regard.
Do we want to talk about Blaze Alexander getting a game-winning hit
to Blaze Alexander winning the Orioles their opening day game. Cade Stroud starting off the year in Reno. Again, that's in Mike Hazen's belt pocket. And then you go back to Torey, Derek, and now I think we're 33 minutes into the show. We need to talk about it a little bit more. I know we have for a second, but did Torey Lovullo just hire the next worst third base coach in the history of baseball? Because Sean Larkin did things to this franchise that I've never seen a third base coach do to a franchise before, in terms of probably being the sole reason that we traded off half our team and,
For the love of God, you cannot turn on our lights in here. Oh, anyway, I'll finish his thought. It's never going away. The lights are just on now permanently, and that's what's happening.
Okay. Lots of thoughts. This happens to me and Kevin in every single one of our Wildcats post games.
We need to lock the door.
It does not happen to any single other podcast at this company.
Yeah, it's just us.
It just happens to my 2 podcasts. Studio. And it's always when I'm the one that's one of the only 2 people here at the office late at night, and I'm getting real sick and tired of it ruining my shows when I'm putting in work, Derek. I'm tired of being on the face of the sun in the middle of a post-game show.
Oh, I get it.
Now, I'm going to get back to my point.
Please do.
Sean Larkin did things that ruined this franchise last season. He destroyed our playoff hopes almost single-handedly. He's a big reason as to why half our team got sold off as another light turns on next to Derek. Did we just hire is JP House just as bad? Or JR House?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll start calling you by your real name when you start making better decisions at third base, buddy. Because you're sending Pavin Smith when he's touching third and Will Smith already has the ball in his damn glove. That was the most embarrassing send of any send from last season to now, minus whatever Sean Larkin was doing last season. Right. And great, we're right back to square one. And our third base coach is going to cost us ball games potentially. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, that send to Pavin Smith was incredibly questionable.
Awful.
Incredibly questionable.
TP, please come home.
Hey,
I'm begging, man.
Let's hope that this was just a mistake and not necessarily that. But I think I was frustrated by that. I could understand certain guys with elite speed on this team, you just gauging improperly and thinking like, yeah, Corbin can make this. I know the relay's coming in and I know he's just getting here to third, but I really think Corbin can make this because he's going to turn on the afterburners. He's going to make them have to make a perfect throw. And if they do, then that's the case. And I will say this about that play. They made a perfect throw. They made a perfect throw into the relay man, and the relay man, the cutoff man, made a perfect throw into home. So the Dodgers played that play perfectly. But with the amount of time that they got the ball to the plate, and then you see David Smith trot in, like it was like, how is that possible? How is it that?
Did he run back? Oh no,
Yeah,
he's just running into the frame.
Did he trip and barrel roll and then get up? Listen to JR House screaming at him, "Go back to third!"
I thought he really was returning back to third base when I saw the first frame shot of him not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how off your internal clock, Derek, has to be for you to get it that wrong.
Yeah,
that wrong.
Yes, that's that. Yeah, that's exactly.
It's like a clueless level of third base coaching,
or it's truly not knowing the speed of Pavin Smith, and Pavin Smith was coming really slow,
which is a massive issue. No, I mean, how long does it take to get the speed down of each of your players?
You don't have the excuse, and I said this on the watch along. You don't have the excuse of being like, oh well, you know, Pavin was playing for Team USA. And I haven't really had a chance being a new third base coach to see him run the bases in actual baseball games very much with my own eyes. No, Pavin's been here the whole time. He's been in the starting lineup almost every day before experiencing the forearm tightness that he was experiencing. And he was almost even scratched from today's game and put on the IL, according to a tweet from John Gambadoro. And Torrey said before the game he was going to let Pavin take batting practice, see how he felt afterwards. And apparently Pavin felt good enough to come in the game. And again, Pavin's been doing well at the plate. He's been having good at-bats. This goes back to spring, and it's something that the Diamondbacks want in there far more than they want Tim Tawa playing DH for this team right now. So, but, I mean, in that case, it definitely was a misjudgment. And you're right. That is a problem. Not knowing the speed of Pavin Smith and what he is capable of and sending him in a situation where he was so obviously out. So, out by a mile, that sucks. That sucks.
Carlos Santana might be faster than Pavin Smith. That's how slow Pavin Smith is. I was watching Pavin Smith run right there, and I was like, what is going on here? I know he's not fast, but this is a guy who's logged some innings in center field in his career, Derek. He's not that old.
All right. So we got Pavin Smith, max sprint speed in the 23rd percentile.
I mean, what I saw tonight was third percentile.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not.
Maybe Pavin needs to get his legs stretched out, and August Pavin runs a little faster than March Pavin, because that was not 23rd percentile tonight.
Carlos Santana, 12th percentile.
Yeah, I think Carlos Santana, 12th percentile. Higher than what Pavin Smith was running tonight on that when he was rounding third.
Not great. Well, we have other numbers to look at, Damon, so let's go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to take a look at by the numbers on the other side of this break. Don't you guys go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondbacks show. Well, shout out to Circle K. It's America's thirst stop. It's Derek's thirst stop. It's definitely Damon's thirst stop. And it should be your thirst stop. Whether you need to, again, drown your sorrows on this Friday night with a 12-pack of beer, or maybe an 18-pack of beer, or just get yourself something cold to drink, whether it's the morning or the afternoon or the evening. they got you covered. If you're an Inner Circle member, you'll save money on all of that, and you'll get everything at Circle K for less. All you got to do is sign up, and then you use your phone number to save on things like Polar Pops, which you'll get for 79 cents, Frosters for 99 cents, and you can save yourself on gas by buying 3 20-ounce Coca-Cola products, and you'll get yourself 25 cents off per gallon on your next 5 fill-ups. There's all sorts of savings to be had at Circle K, so do not miss out on joining the Inner Circle for free right now by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. And of course, Branded Bills is one of the most wonderful hat companies in all of the land. I love Branded Bills because their hats are light, they're stretchy, they're also deep, like something that I have a problem with sometimes with hats, and how shallow they can be. And when you have a big old cabeza like mine, you got to cover it up. And Branded Bills, their hats do all of that stuff. They have deals with the U of A and ASU as part of their campus collection, and they make some absolute fire for both of those schools.
No doubt.
As well as some fire for the Phoenix Suns. They are a local company right here in Mesa, Arizona, so it always feels great to shop local. But more importantly, if you want some fire for your company, if you want to have your brand stand apart from the crowd, look no further than Branded Bills. Their team will get your custom order started, and they will get you whatever exact custom apparel you're looking for, whether you want snapbacks, trucker hats, fitted hats, beanies, tees, it doesn't matter. They have you covered with performance and with style. So head on over to brandedbills.com and use code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order right now. Well, Damon, let's take a look at some of these numbers from tonight's game, because I'm sure there are some people that are still wondering why the hell I'm saying that the Diamondbacks outplayed the Dodgers when they lost by a score of 5-4. And that's a fair question. But I think the reason here is when you look at what the Dodgers did, their output offensively was very small and condensed to just that third inning. That's the majority. They put up those 4 runs then. They tack on that 1 run late in the bottom of the 8th inning. But outside of that, the Diamondbacks just held them to 4 hits in this game. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks had 8 hits. They kind of spread it all over the place. They would have definitely been able to put up more runs. And I don't know if I can say definitely because I don't live in that alternate timeline, but there's a good chance they would have been able to put up some more runs and maybe extend these innings a bit longer had they not made those 2 fairly massive base running mistakes. And again, got to play perfect baseball against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Got to play perfect baseball against the Dodgers. But again, out hit the Dodgers 8-4. Dodgers, both teams scored twice with runners in scoring position. Diamondbacks had 9 opportunities, though, to the Dodgers 5. 2 for 5. The Diamondbacks had 4 extra base hits to the Dodgers 3. And the expected batting average was 228 here for the Diamondbacks to 257 for the Dodgers. Most importantly, though, that final stat there that I'm sure Damon added without my permission and without my knowledge, he said cold hard criminals not applicable to the Diamondbacks, and at least 1 on the Dodgers.
At least 1. And Kyle Tucker, I almost put 1.5 because of what he's doing from a tax evasion standpoint. But
yeah, no, there's that, and there's also probably just robbing the Dodgers too. Like he's like skimming off the top in a way, even though it was approved and it's part of the contract. There's something criminal going on with the fact that Kyle Tucker and the penalties the Dodgers are paying is more money than 10 teams are paying for their payroll in 2026. So there's got to be charges that can be brought up against somebody for that. But here we sit now, the Diamondbacks.
Someone must answer.
Instead of the Diamondbacks potentially going for a win, series win tomorrow, they are now scrambling to try to prevent them from getting swept here by the Dodgers. And overall, I'm not exactly in the same territory as one Damon Dawg. I'm not ready to call this season a wrap just yet. There might be still plenty of games for me to watch before I want to make that assertion. But this stretch to start the season is not going to be very easy. And there's a very good chance we could see the Diamondbacks with a substantially significant losing record here before things get better, right? So I implore fans to have some patience, and let's hope that this team can find its footing, especially if it's not tomorrow against the Dodgers, at home against the Detroit Tigers on Monday. They are off on Sunday, which somebody pointed out is kind of weird. It's weird to have the season start on a Thursday and then have games just be like, again, where's your stupid precious 4-game series? Huh? Shouldn't that have filled in the hole here? I don't want to play 4 games against the Dodgers with the way this is going, but we do have one more tomorrow, and Eduardo Rodriguez will be on the mound against Tyler Glasnow and Mays Devil. You're right. The Tigers are also legit, so I'm worried about them coming to town as well. But
the Tigers are nasty.
They are no Dodgers. They are no Dodgers.
McGonigal is insane. Are you watching this kid?
Oh, Kevin McGonigal is crazy good. There's a lot of good young players.
There
right,
is.
that are just making their debuts and making
Where's
a
mine?
splash. Well, we're going to talk about where yours is in a little bit when we do our update from down on the snake farm. But we do have to preview tomorrow's game, which again starts at 6:10. We got Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound going up against Tyler Glasnow. And Tyler Glasnow has been really good lately too. So good luck to the Diamondbacks on trying to figure out their offense here in Los Angeles in the final game of the season. Again, we'll have a post-game show tomorrow night, so make sure to join us for that. But again, when it comes to Tyler Glasnow, I don't love the Diamondbacks' chances here. So it's already feeling very much like we could see this team get swept in this opening series. What the D-backs need is Eduardo Rodriguez that stepped up so big for, his Venezuelan team in the World Baseball Classic and delivered that performance that he delivered against that Team USA lineup, which is very, very close to this Dodgers lineup, right? I mean, it's hard to say that the Team USA lineup is much better or worse here than
it's pretty. I mean, like
the Dodgers.
It's crazy because it's truthfully like as close as it.
Yeah, like
as
if you put the Dodgers lineup out there as like any world's team, you're like, damn, that's the best roster in this World Baseball Classic.
No joke, Derek. That's actually a fantastic point. Like, if you were truly looking at World Baseball Classic rosters and the Dodgers roster was their roster, what does that rank in terms of power rankings of WBC?
They're
teams?
Final Four. They're right there with the Dominican Republic and everybody else.
It's Japan, Dominican Republic, USA, and the Dodgers.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's
and there's
nuts.
a good chance the Dodgers could beat any of those teams. Not to mention the fact that the stars from those teams would be removed from those teams and be on the Dodgers.
But that doesn't mean that Venezuela can't win it, baby. This is what baseball's all about.
Let's go.
Maybe we're not eliminated. Come on, chat.
Well, Jackson Merrill robbed Kevin McGonigal tonight of his first home run, by the way.
Wow.
And then he apologized afterwards. So
I thought he hit 2 in his debut.
No, he did not. So he just said, sorry to Kev. Merrill robs Tigers' top prospect of first career home run. So we have that. But
did you see Dominic Canzone hit 2 bombs?
Oh, yeah. I saw Dom Canzone hit 2 bombs. Yeah, of course.
At least we got Paul Sewald. That's what I always like to say.
Do you want me to leave? Is that what you want? Do you want to do this podcast by yourself?
It just feels like if anything has to do with the bullpen, Mike Hazen is going to make it a disaster.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong. Chase DeLauder, it might be the guy you're thinking of. Chase DeLauder is the one that hit
2 bombs,
two bombs in his first game.
And
then he did it again tonight. Another home run for DeLauder tonight. Also,
they're calling him maybe the most hyped prospect in Guardians/Indians franchise history, Derek. That cat.
Could be that. Could be that for sure. But Damon, let's take one last break. And then when we come back, let's talk about our young prospects because I'm done talking about Dodgers and Diamondbacks because it makes me sick. So let's take a peek at the Snake Farm and see what those guys down there are doing. We're going to do that on the other side of this break. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Well, the hope is that you will never need the husband and wife law team services, but if you are ever involved in a serious injury or accident, make sure to contact them first. They are specialists in personal injury and wrongful death, and that is why, of course, if you experience a serious injury or any kind of serious accident, that you contact them first. Their team brings hundreds of years of combined trial experience, and they have multiple certified specialists in personal injury and wrongful death, which in the state of Arizona, less than 1% of all lawyers are certified as specialists in injury and wrongful death litigation. So that makes them experts in this field, and they are dedicated to making sure that if you go to trial, they are there for you. They are trial lawyers. They know their way around a courtroom and know exactly what needs to be done in order to prevail in front of a jury. More importantly, they know that they cannot guarantee the outcome of any case, but they can make certain promises to you as their client, including that you can cancel their fee agreement at any time for any reason. You will receive as much in your pocket as they do for their fee, even if they have to reduce their attorney fees to do so. And you have the right to trust that as their lawyers, they will tell you both the strengths and weaknesses of your claim so that you can make informed decisions. If you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at the link in our show notes and tell them PHNX sent you. And now, again, is the perfect time to finish those home projects, those home renovations that you're trying to do, and you can get those done through the Window Depot. It's cooling down. Like I said, it got hot. We're getting a little bit of a break, so now's a great time to get started on some of those projects and make sure you get them done before the heat comes back. And they have you covered out there at the Window Depot. Of course, they are experts in windows, so they can help you replace yours and, again, help you keep some of that cool air in and that hot air out. They can also help with all sorts of other stuff, including cabinets, skylights, countertops, doors. They have you covered with whatever project needs you are looking for. It's the reason why contractors absolutely love the Window Depot. Not only do they have unbeatable prices, but they always have job site ready quantities, so you never have to worry if they have what you're looking for in stock when you go to the Window Depot. They've added flooring to their roster in their Tucson store, which is coming here soon to Phoenix. And they also have in-store designers that can help you with your project at no extra cost. They will help you get started and plan your space from cabinets to countertops. They help make it simple. The Window Depot, more than just a window store. Visit thewindowdepot.com and get started on your next project right now. Damon, Groundhog Mama wants to start a petition to get you over there at third base for this team. Are you willing to accept this responsibility?
I mean, it's a lot of pressure, Derek, and honestly, I haven't been in a position where I am a third base coach in a high level baseball game, and frankly, I love this. Sorry, wrong button there. I love this organization so much that I don't want to be the reason that I'm costing us baseball games. Maybe if they want to like help groom me for the role, I'm all for it. You know, let's send me down to Visalia.
Yeah.
Let's get some reps going. Let me go to Salt River and get some rookie ball games. Let him manage the
AA Sod Poodles to a championship, and then once he has that Saudis championship under his belt,
absolutely
get back here and show us that major league experience.
Absolutely. I think that is probably where we're gonna have to start. I want to do things the right way, Derek, and I want people to respect me in the process, and that only gets done by biding your time in the minors there.
Just looking at the comments, Maze Devil says Mike Hazen will pay someday. That sounds very menacing.
It's because of my talking about Dom Canzone for Paul Sewald trade.
There's that. Groundhog Mama also says, can we have WBC Rod tomorrow? Fingers crossed we do. But I'll say also that guy did not go 5 innings. So, I mean, looking at what we have from like Gallen and Ryne Nelson, maybe we need more than just WBC Rod. Maybe we need him to be awesome. But again, no reason to believe that Eduardo Rodriguez cannot bring that same kind of performance to the Diamondbacks tomorrow. And hopefully he gives this team a chance to win against a very good pitcher there for Los Angeles and Tyler Glasnow. But the Reno Aces did open up their season yesterday, Damon, with a 7-6 loss. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how many people care very much about AAA results and what the record is, but we did have a couple of guys shining in the loss to the Tacoma Rainiers. We got our guy Lou James Groover going 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs, and Tommy Troy going 3 for 5 with 1 RBI and 1 run scored. All I could think, seeing that these guys win a combined 7 for 10, is think about how much we need both of them on the major league roster to be doing this for us, especially Tommy Troy. But again, very good start to the season for both of those guys. Ryan Waldschmidt also made his AAA debut. Did not go as well as we would like to see. He was 0 for 3, but he did have 2 walks, and he scored a run, and he had an RBI on, I think, a sac fly. So shout out to Ryan Waldschmidt for still doing the thing, still finding a way to be productive, helping score runs, helping get runs in. Cole Drake, not a great night on the mound, Damon. He went 4 innings for the Reno Aces. He gave up 3 hits, 3 earned runs. He walked 1. He did strike out 6, but he also gave up 2 home runs. So that's pretty much where we're at. And let's see. Maze Devil asked, how many times has Mr. Groover changed his first name? I believe just 1. We just have the change from Gino to Lou James, but it was Lou James to Gino back to Lou James. So that's where we stand right now. We'll see if we have to keep track of any future name changes here. Waldschmidt's still Waldy until we figure out a way to
And
do that
until,
at a later time.
but didn't we agree upon that? Like when he's in the minors, he's Waldo. Because we want to say where's Waldo? He's in AAA.
He's in AAA.
Yeah, or if he's on the bench, we also say where's Waldo? Or if maybe he's playing like not very good baseball, then we say like where's Waldo? Like is he gonna show up?
Did he disappear?
But when he's playing good,
he's Waldy.
Yeah. And hopefully that's all we ever have to call him.
hopefully, but I don't know. I'm tapped out. I'm still I'm having a hard time even getting excited about the results of our minor league guys because the Diamondbacks, again, Damon squandered so many opportunities today in this one.
Yeah,
Not a lot, but the ones that could have won the game.
And you're getting emotional about it over there, Derek, and I completely understand why, because we're on pace to be 0-162.
Yeah.
And
I'm looking at your Twitter, and I'm seeing the elimination graphic. I'm seeing how quickly you went from being like Ryne Nelson is him to being like, and it's gone. So
I mean, I cooked Ryne Nelson. I'll put my hand up on that one. That's a fact.
You did,
but
you also got to cook yourself in the process as well. Which
I mean, but that's the game that we play. Derek,
it's the game that
as
we love.
as you know that me and you and the things that we say and tweet about very much dictates what happens on the field for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and that's why we get blamed for it constantly.
Oh, don't even start with me. I can't even tweet about Alek Thomas having a good game because
you're gonna jinx him and make him bad.
Yeah.
What? That's not how that works.
I mean,
if
it's actually how it worked, trust me, I would have reverse jinxed the hell out of this situation a long time ago.
If that's actually how it worked,
we would be the one going for our third.
If that's actually how it worked, Albert Wilson would be the best fan in the history of fans because this guy would have turned the Diamondbacks into a World Series champion years ago, months ago. This guy hates the D-Backs, but because of how much he loves them.
Look, Albert Wilson's never here live in the chat. So since he is, I feel like we should take this opportunity to address that he might be the most prolific hater on our YouTube channel.
And Killer X is here.
And you know what? Killer X comes here, does it in the live chat. But he's not here day in and day out like Albert. Albert is here 162 games. Albert never misses a start. Albert is here on off days. He's here to tell us we suck on Saturday and Sunday. Albert's here on every day of the week to tell us how much the Diamondbacks are trash and how much we suck. I still haven't even determined if he's a man or a child, and I still don't know if he's actually rooting for the Diamondbacks and doing this in kind of a ironic way of hating his own team, or if he's just like the biggest Dodgers stan in the world and he's just here like BC every day to assert his dominance over us. I don't know what Albert's deal is, but God damn it, I respect the hell out of his stamina. This man doesn't miss a game.
No
he
quitting,
doesn't miss
Albert.
An episode.
There's no quitting, Albert. 100%. If there was 8 ticks on the bell, Derek, and he had 2 ticks to get back up and he just got knocked out cold, Albert's finding a way to get back up and tell you D-backs are shit.
Go check the
That's
tape.
what he's going to say.
Go back and look at every episode of this show. You won't find a comment section that's not Albert free. So again, hats off to you, sir.
I'm just saying that if
you might own us.
I know this is what I know that you're saying, like, and you're right. At the end of the day, we don't know truly anything else about Albert. We just know D-backs are shit because that's the only thing Albert will tell us.
That's his whole brand.
But I can tell that Albert loves the Diamondbacks. Albert loves the Diamondbacks so much that he hates the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's the kind of fan I think Albert is.
He's not a Dodgers fan.
Yeah.
He just hates the Diamondbacks because he is so angry that they're not like the Dodgers, essentially. Right. Which I
can relate to that.
Kind of love it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If what we said and did impacted how the team played, Albert would have made this team a dynasty.
Yeah, this team would have been the greatest team in the history of Major League Baseball.
Years ago. So let me tell you, that's not something that's possible. Salute to Albert.
Salute to Albert.
Our fearless leader.
Yeah. Salute to the rest of you as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are the true king snakes of the world because you hung in with us and you're here late on a Friday night to talk about a 5-4 loss to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And that's what this place is, folks. That's what we are going to be all year long. We are here for the good times and we are definitely here for the bad times. So make
the
sure
Friday
you
night
join
post
us.
games in like August are like that's a tough slog, man.
Yeah,
I mean, this is March Derek and Damon right here talking.
Yeah, I mean that's
we're doing
what
this all season long. We got Monday through Friday night post games. Be here. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be electric. Meanwhile, this team has like 90 losses in August, and we got a Friday post game, and it's like, Derek and I were thinking about maybe moving the show to 12 p.m. today.
What do you guys think about the noon shows again? What do you think about that? So I don't even want to watch this team. So let's hope we don't get there.
No.
And so far,
lots of season left. Lots of season left.
What's one good takeaway from today is I don't think watching this team tonight was that kind of team. This is a team that, again, I knew there were going to be Dodgers fans. You guys are so predictable. I knew they were going to be here in the live chat laughing at the idea of the Diamondbacks outplaying the Dodgers tonight. But I will die on that hill that they outplayed them. But the mistakes that they made were not enough to overcome, and they did not do enough to win against a team that essentially, once again, you have to play a perfect baseball game against in order to beat. The Dodgers are going to have their mistakes and their failures throughout the season. They're going to have their times where they have their injuries and their guys are slow. Again, hats off to the Diamondbacks for holding this fairly elite lineup to what they held them to tonight. But some self-inflicted wounds really caused them to not have more opportunities with runners in scoring position and to score those runs. And again, they made some big mistakes, especially Ryne Nelson, when he probably at the worst possible time, after giving up a couple of walks, to give up a big home run to Mookie Betts was enough for this Dodgers team to keep the game tied and eventually win it late in the game. So, but a lot of encouraging things, including the performance from Ryan Thompson once again, and Jonathan, a.k.a. Johnny Lasagna. We're not even going to call him his last name because I'm terrible at pronouncing it.
I kind of like, I'll tell you, I know you like Johnny because it's like more Italian, but there's something classy
Jonathan
about
Lasagna.
There's something classy about John Lasagna.
Oh, just
simple
Lasagna.
John Lasagna.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It just kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit.
And we talked about that because that is both Garfield's owner and his favorite thing to eat. So
that's a good point.
Right? And we hate Mondays on this podcast. That's why we do Mailbag Monday. We hate actually working. We just put the work to the people.
And on Mondays, we hate the mailbag.
And Mondays, we hate working. We hate Mondays, but we'll be back on
John
Monday.
Lasagna, man.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Johnny Lasagna. So you guys come back and join us. We're going to do this one more time this week. Tomorrow, we have another post-game show, so make sure to join us for that. Until then, you can follow us on social media. I am at Cap_Caveman with a K. Damon is at Damon Dawg with a DAWG. And as always, we're all Damon's dogs. Bark, bark. Our show is at PHNX D-Backs, but all roads do lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you guys so much for your time. Appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow night with another post-game show. Until then, behave yourself. Maze Devil, you devil, you. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when you play a complete game.
We all silly like the mayor.